This is the 5 tech things you should know about, episode number 35 for April 23rd, 2010. Brought to you by Mosey.com. Hey everybody, Jeffrey Powers here. How you doing? TV is Zine with Association of Geekazine. And 608-205-4378 is the phone number. Geekazine@gmail.com is the email address. You can write me, you can call me, and suggest any topics for any of the shows over on Geekazine. But go over to geekazine.com. You'll get a lot of great content. We do the weekly podcast. We do the Day in Tech History rundown every single day. Podcast for every day of the week. It's beautiful. So all of that over on Geekazine. And now the new Wikazine articles over at wikazine.com. Not Wikizine, but Wikazine. It keeps with the structure. So, hey, this show wouldn't be possible if it wasn't for our sponsor, Mosey.com. Backup now, backup often, backup offsite with Mosey.com. The price of a hard drive, you've paid for offsite backup for a year. You can't go wrong with that. What happens is you have the Mosey Home account, your one computer uploads all the files and stuff like that when your computer's idle, and it goes off sites, and of course it's unlimited backup. So you got all your pictures, you got all your documents, you got all your videos saved, you got your life saved up online. So like I said, backup now, backup often, backup off-site with Mosey.com. We're going to give you a special code here. Geek is going to get you 10% off that already low price. Go over to Mosey.com, enter in the code GEEK, and you're going to get an additional 10% off. That's a gift from me to you. Of course, you support the Day in Tech History, to the 5 tech things, wrong show, for anything that you do there. So thanks a lot. And, of course, go over to Mosey.com and back up now. All right, faster than I can get seriously hit on my website by Woot.com. Let's get into the 5 tech things. Yeah, basically, apparently, Woot.com was selling the Handtech Tableau. We did a video on that back at CES 2009. Everybody referenced to that, and of course, I got 10 more than 10 times the traffic that I normally get from Geekazine in a week. It was great, but now it's back down to normal numbers. So hopefully I got a few extra people from there. So thanks a lot if you came over through Woot.com. All right, let's get into 5 tech things. We're going to start over on this. You might be looking at this and you might be going, oh, it's phones. We heard about phones earlier this week. We heard about the big iPhone. First of all, I want to tell everybody, Gizmodo never said it was a 4G iPhone, but yet a lot of websites out there said, hey, we got 4G iPhone coming for 4G. No. Chances are Apple's not even going to call it a 4G when it comes out. If it is 4G, they are going to call it HD, but it still might even be 3G. So anyway, the big rumor or big news was the fact that last month somebody lost a prototype iPhone, and then somebody picked it up. They sold it to Gizmodo. Gizmodo took it apart, tested it, and reviewed it, and then they gave it back to Apple. I think they gave it back to Apple. I don't know. Anyway, well, yesterday, Dell smartphones leaked out on the internet too. That's kind of weird. Anyway, Dell has got 4 new smartphones coming. The Thunder, the Lightning, the Smoke, and the Arrow. Now, of course, it's highest to lowest. The Thunder the Lightning is the be-all, end-all of all these smartphones here from Dell. And, of course, the Arrow is the more lower-priced, affordable type smartphone. They'll mostly have we're quoting from the top one, the Lightning, has a 4.1-inch WVGA OLED capacitive touchscreen, that's the word. 5 to 8 megapixels autofocus camera, 1 gigahertz Snapdragon processor, 1 gigabyte flash ROM, 512 megabytes of RAM, micro SD card slot, which will give you an additional 8 gigabytes of RAM right off the snap though. No prices just yet, but these are the new phones from Dell. Dell, last year they said, oh, we're not getting in the smartphone market. That was Michael Dell to Malik from GigaOM. So, I don't know. It's kind of, here's the phone. Here's the phone. Anyway. So, we've got a lot of leaked phones coming out. Smartphones are coming out like no tomorrow in the next 3 months. Microsoft Kin, we talked about last week, the Dell smartphones, the Apple iPhone, everything else. So you're going to have to keep an eye out on that, and of course we'll help you with that. One thing you might have been experienced this last week was the fact that McAfee had messed up maybe your XP Service Pack 3 box. If you had Service Pack 3 on Windows XP, which most people have done, and you downloaded the 5958 DAT file from McAfee, then it messed up your servicehost.exe file, and basically you just kept getting blue screen of death errors and then rebooting the computer. Now, to fix it, if you've done your system restores, go back before you installed the 5958 DAT file. If you don't know how to do that, you should call me and we'll hook up on a go to assist a session and I'll get you restored. Unfortunately, I can't go that way because we need to be inside of an internet browser to do that. But go check out with your local IT person. They know how to fix it. Let them fix it. Let them get you back up and running. And of course, you do need antivirus. That's very important. And every now and then, mistakes do happen. But correction is the key, and that's what they're getting at. If anybody has been affected, please let me know. 608-205-4378, and we'll talk about it on the air. We're sticking with smartphones today, and it's just a big smartphone day. As you can see, Palm is in this big quandary. Their CEO left about a month ago. Palm wants to sell everything. Everything's just going wacky, wacky, wacky. But here's the real question that you should look at. Who is Palm going to actually hook up with? It's going to be one of these few people. Maybe a couple others that aren't on this picture right here. But we have Dell, we have Android, we have Symbian, we have BlackBerry, we have Apple, we have Windows, we have HTC, which is the forerunner. A lot of people are thinking that HTC is going to buy Palm. Why would they want to buy Palm? Well, you got to remember one thing and one thing only. Palm has been in the PDA side of business for a lot longer than any of these other ones. They have patents that are very viable. If Palm was to be bought by HTC, HTC right now has a lawsuit with Apple about certain patents. Those lawsuits might be dropped simply because of the fact that they have the Palm patents with them. It doesn't say that it covers them or anything like that, because I really don't know all the patents that Palm really has that can be shuttled over to HTC that's viable nowadays. But they might find a lot of less legal aggravation because of the fact that Palm has pretty much all the PDA information and patents from the late 90s. Handspring was merged into Palm. We had a couple other that are escaping me right now, a couple other systems that were merged into Palm when Palm was in its heyday. Now, Palm is looking for a way out. I think HTC is their best bet, but you never know who's going to crop up on here. Apple might even buy Palm. You never know. All right, this is the brand new $100 bill, United States $100 bill. It's got some really cool technology in it. You'll see this little blue stripe in the middle here. That blue stripe is called the 3D security ribbon, and it's the new way to thwart thieves from copying $100 bills. And I guess it's really hard to do. Add to it the copper ink on the, I think it's right here. There you go. The copper ink on the right side of the bill. And you've got a almost foolproof. Of course, thieves always find a way to make copies and do things. So, but this is going to be really tough. You've got to be really on your tech game to get this $100 bill copied. So, it's no date on when it's going to be issued, but that is the look of the new $100 bill. All right, I'm going to move back over to this camera. Be on the lookout for this guy with the iPad. Now let's move back over to this camera. Heck, let's move over to this camera. Let's move back over to this camera. Now look at me. Now look at you. I'm not on a horse. Anyway, last part here, we're talking about the iPad. I don't know if you heard about this. Some guy, a guy by the name of William Jordan, had his iPad stolen as he was walking out of the Apple store. Now what makes this so horrific was the fact that the thief grabbed his iPad, which was in a bag, and that bag had a drawstring which was wrapped around his hand. The guy yanked so hard, he ripped off some of the skin and tendons off of the guy's finger. The guy went chasing after him. I'm watching, you're seeing the video down here. The guy went chasing after him, and then he realized, oh my goodness, there's something wrong, and he just went in complete shock. The ambulance came, picked him up, and they found that there was too much damage in the finger. They ended up having to cut off part of the finger. Be careful when you're walking out with stuff. Don't wrap the drawstrings around your hand. You know, it could have been his wrist. He could have had his wrist broken. He could have had his wrist severed to the point that he cannot use it again, simply because of the drawstring. Now, this might even bring in some political debates, whether these types of bags are allowed anymore or not. That's a whole different topic and a whole different video. But be on the lookout for this guy, because this is so. And that's the 5 tech things you should know about. My name is Jeffrey Powers. www.tvazine.com, geekazine.com, wikazine.com, and a whole bunch of other azines.com. If you'd like to call me, 608-205-4378 or geekazine@gmail.com. Until next week, I really hope you enjoyed it. Leave some feedback, because that's going to help me immensely for the extra shows. Until next time, you guys take care.